we got smashed, but we got smashed, bros, though.
3, 2, 1, go!
What's up? It's your boy Levelhead back with another Live and Level Gamers podcast. This is episode 366. Yeah. Man, we've been doing this for a whole year today. So anyway, welcome to the show, Alice D. It's 9:31 p.m. What's up? So you on the East Coast. What's up, my brother? What's up, fellas?
Man, I thought you about to say something else, but that's cool. You said, what's up, my brother? I didn't think
my bad.
I was like, whoa, we coming in hot today, but no, it's all good.
Yeah, man. So, as you can see what we're talking about here, PlayStation 5, 75 million. We got to discuss that. Yoshida's interview, we're going to have a little bit about that. PlayStation 6, too soon to be talking about the PlayStation 6. Does it feel awkward to already be hearing PlayStation 6? What's up, Comic Book Crunch? We also going to talk about Switch 2 dual screen. Do we want a dual screen accessory? I really don't know. Call of Duty, should it be a free to play? Is it free to play? What is that?
Yeah, it should be free to play game.
I mean, totally.
But we got smashed, bro.
Yeah. So, as you can see, we are here. And we got a little bit to discuss. What's up, people? What's up, fellas? Everybody, join us. Send this out to those that you call friends and compadres. Send it out. Put it up on X. Twitter, if you still want to go by the twits. I like Twitter better than X. I don't feel so... Maddie Jazz, what's up? What's up, everybody? So, I need to know, 75 million. We got to talk about this, man, because this is interesting to me. PlayStation 5, 75 million. What is Microsoft's right now?
Wow. That's a good question.
Era.
Don't do that.
That's where they are at.
We might be saying era after this conversation about these 75 million. But
30 million.
75 million. So 30 million? Dang.
30 million across both the X and the Series S.
Man.
Estimated.
Bottom feeders.
I think Sony lying about themselves.
That's where you got to go to get that. No fact, just go pull a tough on it. Don't do that. Just lying, just going to throw threats and lies out there without any fact. That's funny.
And, just to FYI, the article I'm looking at for the 30 million was written February 8th, 2025.
It doesn't. Okay, I'll say this. Alan Steed, I wasn't going to go that far, but since you do broach the subject of liars, I'll say this. It doesn't feel like they have sold 75 million. Even though they have, if they have, it doesn't feel or seem like they have reached that number yet based on what's there to be played. But anyway, we should save that for later. What else is in here to talk about? I'm not feeling this dual screen stuff.
Nah.
They can keep that. We'll talk about that too. I'm not. Look, we did the whole dual and screen Y'all can keep that. I just first of all, give me the
Let,
game.
let Nintendo cook, bro.
No, man,
That ain't even Nintendo.
they've been cooking for 8
I
years.
know, I know.
They need the food might be burnt by the time we get to the stuff.
Let them
Anyway,
cook.
I don't like Cajun food all the time. I like my food. Anyway, let me stop. I do like a little Cajun. What else? Call of Duty. What else? There was one more we gonna talk about. But anyway, I don't have it on top of my brain. But what's up, people? Yeah. So now keep that DS bull crap. See, I can't say BS.
Get that
Okay.
DSBS. I got to rhyme with
Keep
it.
that DSBS. So to break the ice, K-Bone,
Yes, sir.
did you go see Mr.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I've been waiting for you to respond. You never responded to me, sir. So how did you
I thought I did.
enjoy
I
it?
did respond. My bad.
Maybe I
I thought I
missed
did
it.
respond. It's worth going to see in the movie theaters. I will say that. I will say Anthony Mackie. I don't know if he went and got some extra acting training or what he did for this movie, but he came ready to go. He was probably one of the best thing on the screen the whole time. But Harrison Ford was great too. Let me not say that, but he's always great. But I think Anthony Mackie stepped up his performance when compared to Falcon and the Winter Soldier and his other performances that he had. I think he stepped up to the plate. He stepped up to being able to be Cap on the big screen, and out of everything, I thought he did his thing. I thought he was excellent to watch. I thought he did great as an actor, and he portrayed the Shield very well. The movie, it's okay. The movie's okay. It's worth seeing though. It is worth seeing. But for those who still want that 2015, 2018 Marvel magic, you need to give it up. It ain't 2018 no more. It ain't 2016. That Marvel magic is something else now, and you just have to get with the program. And if you keep wishing it to be what it was, you're going to continue to be disappointed because that ain't what it is anymore. So that level of surprise that we got
Lakers
during
game.
phase 1 to phase 3, that surprise we got when we saw Infinity War, the surprise we got in game, all that's gone. These are decent movies, good movies, but it's not what it was.
Okay. Well,
I wonder, do you think that it's just like, hey, this is the universe we created. It's supplanted now. Now we can just kind of build up on it, and like you just said, the surprises that's over with. Now it's just this is the universe, and now we've built our restrictions and things of that nature, and we can pretty much do what we want with this universe now.
It's hard to have that wow factor. Here's my one take. I think this movie would have had a wow factor if it would have only hinted at Red Hawk and not shown it. I think if they would have hinted at the fact that Red Hawk was here, because the whole time you're just waiting for Red Hawk because you know it's coming, and I think it would have built a piece of tension if it was only hinted at that he was there, he was coming, instead of full out blown showing the fight scenes. I think that lost all type of suspense that you would have had leading up to some of the big moments. So that's my take on it. They show too much in the trailers is what I'm saying.
okay. So here's my take. I went and saw it myself on Friday, or actually, yeah, Friday. Anyway, I don't even want to talk about my Valentine's Day. It didn't happen for real. But anyway,
Whoa.
I took my
Whoa.
daughter because one of my kids got sick, and Mama went into Mama mode. So I had to take my oldest daughter, who don't know how to hush up, through the whole movie. But
Not talk the whole time.
man, she has to say what's on her mind, and she the type to talk loud enough, is under her breath, but loud enough to be verbally heard. And it's like, stop it, please. Would you cut it out? Don't think out loud, please. But it was definitely decent to me. Does it? You said you brought up. Does it capture the the magic of old. I I'm gonna say yes and no. It definitely was better than what we have gotten in a long time. It depends on how you view movies like what's the one with the rings?
Lord, talking about Shang-Chi.
Yeah, Shang-Chi. How did you feel about Shang-Chi?
I thought Shang-Chi was a good movie.
Yeah, okay. I put it
I
in
enjoyed it.
there
I had
somewhere.
fun. I put it in there too. It's better than the slop we've had. We've had some
Absolutely.
really bad movies, and I'm not putting it down, but it did, like, when I left Winter Soldier, I'm like, that's probably one of the best movies I ever saw. When I left after seeing Captain America's Civil War, I'm like, okay, is that the best movie I ever saw? Uh, when I left this one, I'm like, that was a good movie. I enjoyed myself. Right. So
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
feeling I'm referring to.
And that's and a lot of those earlier movies had that feel, and it feels like I think what K-Bum just said is perfect. You felt that's cool enough for what I paid for it. That's about right. It didn't break the box. It didn't break the mold. It didn't shatter the glass. It was just good. It was a good
It was
film.
good.
And
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like that's all we really can ask for from what's his name? Play Sam. What's his name?
Anthony Mackie.
Mackie did all he can do to hold it together.
He did.
He did it, and I would say he kept my interest. What's up, Nia? That was going to be my concern. Was Mackie able to hold his own in a star-studded cast
and carry the movie
carry the movie and not feel like he's being carried? I'm still kind of growing to. I like the original Thunderbolt Ross. Nobody
he
plays.
was good.
Yeah, nobody plays him quite like he played. He became that character. He
was good.
He felt so seeing Harrison Ford there, it felt like Harrison Ford was playing Thunderbolt Ross. It didn't feel like you lost the fact that it's Harrison Ford, and that's what kind of. It was like it's Harrison Ford. it's.
I mean, how many times we see him as a president?
I know.
Not the first rodeo.
Like, huh? So I'm gonna say I enjoyed it. Definitely.
I enjoyed it.
I don't know if I like the main protagonist of the movie as much.
Antagonist.
Antagonist. I don't think I like the main. I don't think I enjoyed the main antagonist that much. I feel like he was a little underwhelming.
Yeah. No, you're fine. No, it's don't spoil it. You're fine. You're good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it. I just said I feel like he was a little underwhelming, but everything else I thought it worked. So I leave it at that. Definitely looking forward to seeing it again, and definitely stay after for the Easter for the.
It was weird seeing Captain America fight like a normal person. That was to me, that was the weird part that I had to become okay with. Seeing him just just throw regular punches. That took a little minute. Cause you remember in Winter Soldier, when Cap first dropped on the ship in Winter Soldier, he needs somebody across the entire ship. And you was like, this gonna be a good movie.
Sam wasn't needing nobody nowhere.
Sam came in and punched somebody in the face. I'm like, oh, okay, he just regular punched him. Oh, he hurt.
Dude just manhandled him. I say, I like, wait a minute, is this dude souped up? Oh, that's right, man. Sam don't have no powers. Okay. You know what though? He
man
really,
with a regular hook.
Yeah, he really is out here Batmaning it up. He got gadgets.
Batman. He is.
But I give it a 7. I think that's what I shared with y'all. I give it a 7. It was definitely worth it.
It's like 6.5, 7 to me. It's around that range. 6.5, 7 to me. It's worth seeing the movie theater. It's a good movie. I saw Craven the week before.
Oh.
And that made me enjoy this movie so much more.
Okay.
So much more. Craven is an absolute. Actually, Craven is not as bad as some of the other movies that, like, it's better than Morbius.
It's better than Morbius? Okay.
Yeah, Craven is. So the action scenes in Craven is better. The action scenes in Craven are really good. It's
Okay.
everything else that's not action scenes.
All right.
But the action scenes in Craven is actually really good. I enjoyed it. I thought that was the best part of it. And the guy who plays Craven is playing the crap out of it. I forget his name. He played Quicksilver in MCU. But he's playing the crap out of Craven. But it's just
Okay.
the rest of the movies. Everything else around it is terrible.
I'm gonna check it out, but I'm gonna have to wait. Alan Steve said, "I really thought the movie was great. I really hate that it was so much racist bullcrap because Captain America is black. I'm at the point where I only support the Marvel movies that people try to trash." Okay, I like that.
Well, if people going to trash Captain America, I mean, those people are majority of people are not comic book people.
Because he was
Who,
that in
who,
the comic book.
eh, that is exactly what he addressed when he became Captain America in the comic book. Like they hit the race thing on the nose. Like they didn't shy away from it. That's why when people talk about all this woke stuff and like the comic has been doing that for 30, 40 years. Like this ain't new to the comics. Right, and they see it on the big screen like, oh, they're trying this DI. No, man, you're not a real comic person. That's why you say that.
30,
But
40,
when
more than
Sam
that, more
became
years than that.
Cap, you say what?
You said 30. It's been actually more than that
Oh,
because
it's more. If you go all the way back to
Magneto is Malcolm X and Professor X
yeah,
was always
yes, back
Martin
in the
Luther,
'60s, you're correct. And the
and
fact that they named
X
their
Men
character
were
Black Panther during the
slavery.
Black Panther movement, like that, he been on that for a long time now. That's
Yeah,
why the thing is Jewish. The thing is actually a Jewish man.
right.
Like they've been addressing this
The
for
X Men is around the subject of racism. Is all that's what it's about.
yes.
X Men mutants is interchangeable
It's an
called.
analog.
Yeah,
Analog. That's what it's
changed out to come. It's meant to be a expression of how racism was plaguing the United States and the world. The mutants were.
Absolutely.
That's what they used the mutants to tell that story. So anyway, hey y'all, go see it for yourself.
Go see it for yourself.
Go see it for yourself. We're gonna get into this what you've been gaming on. We really broke the ice. Let's go. Yeah. You know what time it is? It's time for what have you been gaming on? Sing it, folks. Let's go. Hey. What you been gaming on? 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 Gaming on, gaming on, gaming on. All right. So I'm gonna take the floor first because I never go first. So for me, I gamed on nothing all week long. No gaming. With the snow and my mom's house flooded.
Damn.
Yeah,
Sorry, bro.
man. Yeah, we
Sorry to
got
hear
it
that,
out,
man.
but we still gotta clean stuff out. That rain that came through here, then the snow, then I had to work. No gaming for me. So so
Yeah, come on.
the floor is for whoever else did get some gaming in. I didn't get anything in. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I didn't get a chance to break no ice. But in the spirit, close my door. In the spirit of Spider-Man, I did get a chance to and I'm gonna bridge all this together, so just roll with me. I did get a chance to watch the Spider-Man, the neighborhood Spider-Man TV show on
I
Disney.
just started that one.
It's good.
I got
I
the first two
enjoyed it.
episodes.
I enjoyed it. I think the season may be over. It's 10 episodes. I don't know.
Yeah, it came out. Season finale came out.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, I watched the whole thing, but I didn't know if that was it or not. Kind of just stumbled across it, but pretty good show. But speaking of Spider-Man, I gained on a little bit of Spider-Man 2 on PC,
Nice.
of course. Realized that I had my motion blur turned to the max, and oh my god,
Ooh.
I had to turn that down. Like I like a little bit of motion blur in my game, but it was way too much.
You getting sick?
And a little bit because it was taking a while for the textures and stuff to pop back in. And I was like, because it was like almost as if it was getting stuck. So like it was still in motion, but it wasn't in motion. I was like,
Ooh.
I got to turn this down. After I did that, the game was already gorgeous, but now it's more gorgeous. It's more gorgeous. And really, honestly, that's the only thing I got a chance to game on.
Wow. Okay. All right. It's gorgeous, huh?
No, that's a beautiful game. And I'm at the part where he's talking to Felicia. So I'm gonna say about that.
Okay, K-Bun, the floor is yours.
They got some pixels, boy.
Matt Jazz said, I've been playing Mario and Luigi Brothers Chip. How you liking that, bro? I heard so much mixed reviews around that game. How you enjoying it?
I wanted that.
Go ahead, K-Bun. You said you want
Nah.
to
I said I wanted that, but like you said, so many mixed reviews. I was like, I don't know if I want to spend my money on it.
Go ahead, K-Bun.
No problem. So I've been playing. I try to be quick with mine. I've been playing just the usuals. Playing Marvel Rivals. I'm up to Grandmaster 2. I'm trying to get to the Celestis rank, which is I'm already top 1%. Yeah, top 1% of all competitive gamers. I'm trying to get ranked up a little bit higher. Show my skills. But I've been playing a little bit of that. Just been playing Last of Us 2. So getting more of that in, getting more of the story. Like you said, the story is getting good. It's getting good, but I just don't care still. It may change. It may change at some point. So I'm still staying open to it. But yeah, been playing some of that. And little 2K, and that's it. Like I said, I'll make it quick.
No, okay. I mean, you had to make it that quick, but okay, since you did.
Yeah. It's nothing new. It's just the regulars.
Okay. And I apologize. Yeah, I had so much going on this week. I apologize, you guys. I had all the intents on playing some Ninja Gaiden, some I was even gonna put in Warhammer, and all that took place, and I ended up having to go deal with that, and then everything else kind of happened afterwards. So anyway, thank you. Say hey.
Hey, hi.
Okay, you can go.
Hi.
Okay.
She's so goofy.
That had to be Kendall.
Yes, it was absolutely her.
I knew it.
So anyway, so we going into the first topic right off the rip. And Matty Jazz, we gonna see if your words play into our discussion around this. PlayStation 5 has been reported to have passed the marker of 75 million consoles sold. Article here on IGN says this. PlayStation 5 has best holiday ever. Overall sales past 75 million. Monthly active users up to 129 million. So that brings all PlayStation 5 sales to 75 million and bumped Sony's gaming business by 37% compared to the same period last year. Man, that's a big bump. Sony has now bundled PlayStation 5 Pro sales into its overall hardware numbers. So this is the Slim, the OG, and the Pro. So we're unable to separate the success of each new upgraded console. But the company stressed that sales of all PlayStations now brought its latest console in line with its projected 18 million sales by the end of March 2025. And just 1.5 million units behind predecessor PlayStation 4, which has sold 76.5 million units at the same point in its production cycle. Monthly active users across its series are also up to 129 million, up 5% year on year, and marking a new milestone with overall sales of games and consoles also up 16%. 42% of PlayStation 5 sales were to new PlayStation Network users. PlayStation or Sony's big release during that quarter was Astrobot, which has sold 1.5 million. Do we need to continue to read? Is there anything else in this article y'all think is worth? Okay, so I'm almost to the end. With significant increases reported during its games and network service segment for the quarter, Sony raised its profit forecast by 2%. The PlayStation 5 is ranked at 13th on the list of best-selling consoles of all time and is poised to overtake the 3DS next quarter. How many did the 3DS sell? 80 something? Sony did not comment on his. Yeah, Sony did not comment on his wide-reaching outage last week, which took its PlayStation Network service offline for almost a full day. K-Bum, you got anything to say? Anyway, let me stop. Sony eventually deemed the 24-hour
Don't even get me started, bro.
an operational they said it was an operational issue, and offered PlayStation Plus members an additional 5 days of service. Thank you, Sony. Let's give a clap for you. I appreciate that. I'll take advantage of that.
Don't do this today.
Lies, honesty. Let's continue. Let's see. So, Sony State of Play 2025 broadcast highlighted games coming. We don't know to PlayStation 5 next year, including House Marquee Keys. How you say that? Cyros, I think. And Days Gone remastered. Sony also has Ghost of Yote and Death Stranding 2. Hot.
Oh, that was Ceros.
Okay. Coming out later in 2025. That's enough. So, 75 million systems sold. I take it, K-Bum, that you want to take the floor first. So, K-Bum, what are you let me chew my food. I'm eating right now. Go ahead. The floor is yours, sir.
So first I want to address the lies. I will let me just get that out the way. We do know that these numbers and what they're saying are stuff that they report not to just the consumers, they report to their shareholders, and they can be liable for being sued and defamation to their company if they're lying about their numbers. Like I know Sony has lied definitely when it comes to CGI versus gameplay, and I know they've shaded the truth when it comes to sold versus shipping. But if they say they sold 75 million, you have to understand that they can be held liable and sued out the wazoo by all their stockholders if that information is a actual lie. So let's be careful with throwing those words around and just saying it because maybe you're not happy with the information that's out. But anyway, so 75 million. Was that?
No, I'm eating my food.
Okay. So it's interesting to see that the PlayStation is pretty much on par with the PS4, and that's what we're seeing. The information. We're also we're also seeing that they are growing. We see by some of the numbers that they talked about in digital sales and PSN ownership, or sorry, PSN user base, and the console sales. Everything's growing, and I just find that what a word I want to look for. For right now, I'll say I find it odd, right? That PlayStation has spent. We pretty much can say an entire year off. An entire year with a torn ACL. That's what Sony did. So Sony tore the ACL at the beginning of the year and has not shown up for practice for a whole year. They showed us some glimpse of what's to come but they still haven't jumped and played a game yet. They're sitting on the sideline with that torn ACL, and with that torn ACL, they have grown at a pretty good rate. Um, the fact that they have actually edged closer to the PS4 than where they were last year at this time, and the fact they're still seeing growth. And so, to me, it's just a bunch of questions pop in my head, and I ask like, how are they still growing, or how are they still growing in this manner? Why are they still growing in this manner? Is this a byproduct of Xbox being that bad? Is this a byproduct of third party coming in to save them? Is this a byproduct of Xbox saying, "Hey, this is an Xbox"? Uh, so it's a lot of questions that cross my mind with this information, because I can't in good conscience just say Sony's killing it. Because when you look at the games, they are absolutely failing in that aspect. They are killing it. If you want to talk about the console itself, even the PS5 Pro, I don't think that's killing it. Um, I think these are great numbers, but I think that these are great numbers, even despite the fumbles and audibles and mistakes that they've taken. They've still been able to find a way to be successful in this space. It's kind of my take on it. This isn't a take of saying, "Wow, Sony is so amazing. Look at their numbers. Look at what they're doing." This is, to me, is more of a, they had. I'm gonna use a football, a sports ball reference, Nia.
Sorry, Nia.
They have won the game despite having 10 turnovers. Is how I'll see it. Right, that they've turned the ball over, they've thrown interceptions, they fumbled the ball, but they still managed to be winning the game, and that's what we're seeing here. That they're still on par, even with the mistakes. So that's my first take on it. I'll kind of let you guys give your take on it and what you see when you see these numbers, when you see this information, and maybe even give your reference on what the numbers say and how you feel about it. Because I know there's definitely a wider conversation on it. I think Level kind of said it at first, that it doesn't feel like they're knocking it out of the park with 75 million. But the facts is 75 million. So I still want to hear a little bit more from you guys. And I think I can go another round and circle back and give some more details on where I am. But like I said, to me, it was more questions than it was answers.
Comic book crunch
Keith?
said. Comic book
I'm
crunch
sorry.
said cap. Go ahead, Keith. The floor is yours. I'm still eating my
That,
food.
that, that was actually doing your conversation. It wasn't mine, but that's cool, Level. Since you
No,
wanted those
Yeah.
statements.
I'm talking about he's saying cap like he not believing the 75 million. I just missed it. I'm just bringing it
Oh,
up.
okay.
No, I believe the 75 million. And I'm not gonna get over here and gloss Sony like they just killing it. Cause let's just be honest, they're not. I mean, we had a whole podcast talking about all the fumbles that they had as far as like games that they didn't bring out. But what we're seeing is just a case of a very strong brand recognition. I mean, no matter how you feel about them, Sony always seems to give you one or two or three games, exclusive games that you're like, yo, I gotta get a PlayStation to play that, or like me, gotta wait for it to come on PC, and they always seem to do that. It's less than what it was with the PS4, but it's still happening. I mean, we got the Ghost of Yote coming out. That's all I know off the top of my head. But that's still a really good reason to own one. And if you're really deep into third party, like you can't go wrong with, purchasing a PlayStation. But I think a lot of the people who purchased it was like, I have to just move forward from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5. They've already bought in to the brand, so there's no need for them to look around. It's like there's no need to start over. They're already saying, "Hey, I'm going to get the next PlayStation," and I think these are the numbers that's reflecting that. Uh, unfortunately, a lot of these are children probably, and they can't afford a PS5. So that's why it's not like 1-to-1. Like everybody just moved forward from the PS4 to the PS5. But like I said, they had their stumbles. Sony always seem to have stumbles, but they always seem to, like K-Bum said, they always seem to manage to win or come out the gate and have a really good, strong generation. So it's almost as if, like, no matter what they do, they got to really mess up. They got to go worse than what they did with the PS3 initially, for them to really make some huge mistakes. But the brand is just so strong. And the fact that they have third parties, man, it's just a great mix and a combination. And the graphics are nice. They're not PC level, but do they have to be? No. They just have to be able to play the third party games at the rate that it's playing it at 4K, 60 frames a second. That's what we want. So that's what it is, man. And they're going to continue to see success. So
okay. So first of all, I do believe that they moved they 75 million. I'm not questioning that. I just found it funny. Lies, lies, and more lies. Alan Steed, I'm with you. But I'll say this, man. Like I said earlier, and I thought Keith was going to bring this up and go harder at it because I kind of took it from him. You kind of, Keith, you the only one that, you kind of hit this in the chat. I don't know why you didn't really, you touched on it.
I don't mean what I said.
You talk about they sold 75 million with no games.
Oh, I mean, I kind of said that. I said the only thing I could think of was Ghost of Yote.
Yeah, so that's my thing. It doesn't. I own a PlayStation 5. I bought it the year it came out, and for the most part, I have enjoyed owning a PlayStation 5 for all the reason Keith named. The system looks, the graphics looks amazing. I have had fun. This has probably been the most online I've played in a long time with games like Helldivers 2 and now Marvel's Rivals. But it doesn't feel like that number is right. And I'm trying to understand, okay, so how many PlayStation 4s sold? Because I don't even know that number.
No, it's under a million because the guy that we watched was talking about even the last number they gave for 2022 was last time they gave us numbers on the PS4, and it was under a million. So it's only like
PlayStation 4?
Yeah.
I thought the PlayStation 4 was over a million.
No, the guy with the guy I was listening to that he showed, it was under a million, I believe, as of 2024.
Okay, so you said it topped out right under 100.
Well, it was .1 something like that. He said. So I'm trying to find the actual data now.
I got 117 million from IGN.
117 million. Okay.
So you talking about in the year or total? Sorry.
Oh, what year we're talking about?
No, I thought you were talking about like how much they sold last year.
Oh, my bad.
How many they sold in
okay.
total?
Okay.
So
yeah, they're over 100. Yeah,
so Crunch said about 100. Okay. So they basically, right? Okay. I'm just, because to me, PlayStation 4, I felt like there was more reasons for that number. I don't feel like we've gotten, like, I think this conversation tonight is going to be all encompassing around Sony. All the stuff we're going to talk about. We don't really have to set anything up because I think we're going to hit all of it just from just talking about it. It don't feel like it. Like, Keith is playing Spider-Man 2. That's the last PlayStation 5 exclusive title I've played since, and no. Astrobot. Now, between Astrobot was the last exclusive title. Then, let me do it right. Astrobot and Helldivers 2.
Yes.
And then Spider-Man 2, Ratchet and Clank, Miles Morales was on the PlayStation 4, but it was it hasn't been much here. And I'm like, so all this is being driven basically off of what Keith is saying. Y'all are not buying y'all. So, because in this reason I'm saying is, to me, there's no reason why the Xbox shouldn't be selling. Because the games that y'all buying for the PlayStation 5 are there too. And there ain't a difference to me, the first party is so sparse that I don't see why that's as big of a factor. But I mean, I'm pretty sure it is. That's just interesting to me that, like you said, K-Bum, it's like they broke their leg at the top of the year. They've been out all season. They've been on the bench in looking like Anthony Davis in street clothes. Yet they still selling out, the crypto arena. It's crazy to me, but I mean, hey, cool, no knocks to them.
We still have to understand this, and this is that there are still PlayStation exclusives that are knocking it out the park, and we talked about this last year. That there are still PlayStation exclusive games that are knocking it out the park, that are giving people reasons to buy PlayStation. The
Go ahead.
problem
I'll be
is
right back.
it's
Keep
not.
on. Keep
No
on. I'll be
problem.
right
No
back.
problem. The problem is that it's not first party, right? We talked about it. We talked about Helldivers at the beginning of the year. It was the biggest multiplayer release that we've seen in years, and that is console wise, PlayStation only. And then we had Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade was well received. It wasn't amazing, but it was still on the same on a par of being a really good game and a reason to buy a PlayStation. Was Stellar Blade, another big game that came out last year. Also, we had but Rise of the Ronin, that also came out last year, PlayStation only. You also have Fantastic Four 7 Rebirth. Again, only a Sony title. You had Silent Hill 2 that came out. Again, only a Sony title. The problem is, and this is why I just don't. There are reasons to buy a PlayStation over an Xbox, and I've given several good games, some great games, as reasons to do so. So I do believe that um, that lead is justifiable by the games, but the problem is it's not first party games. And I fully believe that Sony has squandered this, even though they have great numbers, they have increasing sales. We're seeing all the numbers trending up. We're seeing uh, great sale number from the consoles. We're seeing PSN network increase. We're seeing year to year sales increase. We're seeing digital sales increase. They are having a good time, and there are games. And I don't want us to belittle these games and saying that it's all you can play the same games on Xbox. No, there are PlayStation only games. I just named at least 5 that are really good games and reasons to buy the system for. But what and that's why I want to make sure I clarify that. But what makes me upset is that, and I think I personally, and this is a personal thing, and this is one of the things I was going to touch on later, but I'll touch on it now. Um, Personally, you want to be completely honest. I wish PlayStation wasn't doing this well.
Mm.
Well, say it with
I
your
w-
chest. Wait a minute.
I
Put a little bit more
I
bass in there. You
I
too. You too
wish
light. Say it again. No, I was messing. Go
I
ahead.
wish PlayStation was not doing this well, because the fact that you can take a year off and still sell and still increase your console sales and close the gap with the PS4, to me, makes me feel like it gives them a confidence that they shouldn't have. I was here for the overconfident Sony that says next gen starts when we say it does. I don't ever want that Sony to come back. I want the Sony that made moves to get people back on their side. And I don't want. What we're seeing that they're making a change in leadership. They're making a change in the direction of the games. They're moving away from these. live service games. They're actually trying to go back to make good games and just try to get the studios who made the good games to make them. But I wish they would feel some of this stuff. If you guys even listen to what I say, I said the same thing about the Pro. I actually said I wish the Pro doesn't sell well. I hope the Pro shows them that you just can't put out whatever you want to put out and people are going to buy it. Because the way you make companies feel, you make companies react, way you make companies care about the consumers is when their pockets hurt. When their pocket hurts, then they're more likely to listen to consumers and try to win you back to come back to their side. And so personally, like I said, this is a personal thing. I'm not saying Sony you suck. I'm saying personally, I wish they were not doing as good as were doing now, so that they would know that in the future this is not okay. You cannot do this. Your pockets are going to be impacted if you skip an entire year for first party games. And so for me, I'm not happy when I see, oh, they're doing great. Their numbers are increasing because you Sony first party studios, you CEOs of Sony's, you direction givers, you PR speakers, you have not given us reasons, first party studios, to make a purchase and an investment into your ecosystem.
What'd you say, K-Bub? You what? What did you say?
I don't know. I was on a rant. I don't even know what I said. I was going ham. But I mean, honestly, that's how I feel. Honestly, I wish they would feel, because we gamers were affected by the lack of games. And so I wish that their pocketbooks will be affected so that they wouldn't make these dumb choices in the future saying, hey, let's take all of our great studios and tell them all to make games that take 5-7 years to make, that takes $400 million to make, and let all of them, hey, everybody, you guys do the same thing and we'll be good. They'll wait for us. I don't want that. So that's my take. I'm sorry.
Okay. Keith.
No, I agree with that. It's better that they aren't being, I guess you could say, handed the victory. You know what I mean? Like, no, make them fight. Make them go back and say, hey, we got to step our game up. The people are not resonating with the things that we're doing. So, no, I definitely 100% agree with K-Bum, because all this is going to do is just going to give them that confidence boost that had them coming out tripping and fumbling with the PS3.
Exactly.
Like, we do what we want to do and y'all still going to buy it. No, that ain't the mentality we want you to have. I'm not even like a Sony fan like that, but even I don't want to see them handling, their content like that. I want to see them putting their best foot forward, putting the best games, mainly because I play them on PC. But that ain't the point. The point is I want some good games, and if they're not like interested in doing that and they just trying to be a third party box over the Xbox, like, nah, that's not a good look for the industry. So nah, they need to fight and keep trying to shock us and keep bringing out things. Keep being innovative with games like Astrobot, with the controller and stuff like that. Like, keep doing stuff like that. So
that was an accident, Alice Dean. I can't play the intro music. Hold on. There you go. I can't play it. Welcome to the show, Kawan. I'm at the gym. Play that. But no, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not mad. Matter of fact, kudos to Sony for having, like you said, Keith, brand recognition. To be able to have such a strong brand recognition that despite not having that much to offer from a first-party exclusive lane, to still be able to move this many units mostly off of third-party content is very, very strong. I mean, it actually goes back to their roots of PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, because that's kind of what they were then. So, I mean, it's been a part of their, this is something, pull a little bit out of K-Bum. K-Bum has always touted the power of third party and the importance of third party. And I feel like this is evidence that they can literally be in street clothes and still move 75 million units strictly off of third-party content. That is kind of crazy. And I too agree with K-Bum's sentiments that, it's not a good look in the sense of what it says about us. When I bought the PlayStation 5, I felt like there was reason to. I jumped in when everything was ahead and they was projecting all this. People that's buying the PlayStation 5 now, I don't know what their reason is. I feel like you could go out and buy a Steam Deck or Rogue Island, or what is that other one?
Not if you're a console gamer. Not if you're a console gamer. Not if you're
sitting
home in front of a 65, 75-inch TV.
Yeah, true.
That's not going to appeal to you.
You're right.
You still want a box.
You want
and
that
the
box.
alternative is the guy who's putting those games on the other system anyway.
Again, I started saying this earlier. I don't understand then why the Xbox isn't selling if it's the more powerful system.
More powerful system. Yep.
And it's third party. I mean, it really, when you
look
at
the best online.
It's just brand. It's just brand. It's brand. It's the branding. It gotta be.
Well, you also understand this, and because I want to. Hey, it's funny because I treat her like a girlfriend. Like I want to. Like I can talk bad about her. Can't nobody else do it. No, but so, I felt it. You talk bad about my girl. I'm like, I'm talking about my girl Sony. No, but you have to understand that people are still buying it. You have to understand this. People still buy the Sony system for potential. There's only one place you're playing Last of Us. Last of Us 3. There's only one place you're playing.
While you're talking,
God of War.
I want y'all to take a gander at Nia's question too, and Troy can try to answer that. That's interesting. I don't know at this point, Nia, but go ahead, K-Bum. I don't know. Let me ponder on that.
It's only one place that you're playing. You're playing the next God of War game. So there's only one place that you're playing the next Horizon game, right? And even if you want to, play some of these other games like Ghost of Yote that's coming out, there's only one place to do it, and they still have the better first party games. Let's not get it twisted. They still do. So the potential is still there. So I still understand why people would make that choice over Xbox to buy it. And even for third parties, I see why someone would, because a lot of these games, I'm talking about sports games. Actually, more games are actually moving away from the PS4 and Xbox One X. Because they're changing the way the engine works and they're moving toward the PS5. The new college football did that. The gameplay of 2K is different with current gen and new gen. Some of these other games are making that jump. Marvel Rivals, I don't believe, is actually on older systems. I think they're only PS5 and next gen. So there are gaming companies that are making that decision to make that move. There's still plenty to be able to do on the PS4. There's still plenty of games you can play on the PS4. But there's a switch in the industry. We're kind of meeting the halfway point. Companies are making that decision. They are moving, so there is space to do it. But Sony has not given you enough reasons to shell out that money. There's potential there, but they fumbled the bag, and that's the honest to God truth.
Man, that's crazy. Because when you think about, because you brought up Xbox, and you don't understand why they're not winning. You think about
no, you putting words in my mouth. I did not
you
say.
didn't say that. What did you say? What did you say? I mean, I
did not say. I didn't, because that take on a whole different vibe. I did not say.
Why they're not more successful? What did you say? What did you say?
I said with what's selling the PlayStation 5. I don't understand why more Xboxes are not selling when, if third party is what's selling the PlayStation 5, then with the Xbox being more powerful, I would think it should be also selling well, not selling better, but at least selling well enough to where they selling better than what they. You literally just said Xbox has 30 across both S and X.
That's correct.
That's horrible when all they selling on both platforms for the most part is third party. So I'm like, why isn't Microsoft benefiting more with a more powerful system? Why are they selling more when that's all they're selling? The PlayStation 5 is third party for the most part.
Well, I would love to say that's PC is a huge factor, but if we just eliminated the PC, a lot of their first party games just aren't strong enough. Like I'll take a one good PlayStation first party game over 10 mediocre Xbox games. Honestly,
Keith loves. You might well call the Xbox LeBron because this brother gonna find a way.
It's the truth, though. It's the truth, though.
People are saying this Avowed game is pretty cool. I have zero interest in it. I have no interest in playing Avowed. But a lot of their games and the history, the mind share, the brand recognition, it's just not as strong.
Also, Xbox cannibalizes themselves too, right? Because their first party goes to PC, right?
Well, I eliminated that. I said even if we weren't talking about PC, I still would want to play a PlayStation game over a lot of these Xbox first party games. But and then the fact that Game Pass, like I agree with level, it should be moving more numbers because Game Pass, especially this generation where Sony not doing as much, they should be doing a lot better than what they are doing.
Even the PSN is moving numbers right now, which is crazy.
Crazy.
Even with the price increases.
Oh, and don't forget Call of Duty.
Yeah, they got Call of Duty.
It just started, but we're gonna talk about it a little bit
it's
more.
Free to play on Game Pass.
It's free to play on Game Pass. Like, what's going on? Anyways, yeah, I did find a way to talk about Xbox. My bad.
I do want to address Nia's question, and I think level. Did you want to address it, or you want me to go ahead and address it?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So Nia's questions for those who don't see it. She said, "I'm not trying to sound shady. Well, she usually is. I'm not trying to sound shady, but doesn't most of Sony's sales come from having strong first party?" So I did a little. I wanted to find some facts, right? I didn't just want to talk about emotions or how I feel or what I think. I want to use facts. Out of the top 25 games, the top 25 best-selling games for the PS4, Heath leveled. How many of those games do you believe are third party?
Out of the top, how many?
You said how many?
Out of the top 25 games, the top selling 25 games of the PS4,
20.
How many games of those in that top 25 are third party games?
I would say 4 to 7.
4 to 7?
Party? I'm
third
saying,
party.
Third party or first party?
15 to 20.
No. How many of those games are third party games?
Party. I would say 19. To 20.
You say 19?
Yeah.
Keith.
I'm saying 20 just because he said 19, but 20, yeah, it's going to be up there.
Okay. Out of the top 25 selling PS4 games, the number of third-party games in the top 25.
First party is 25.
5.
What?
5. Those games are The Witcher that sold 10 million copies, a Star Wars Battlefront that sold 8, Final Fantasy VII Remake that sold 5 million, Monster Hunter that sold 4 million, Cyberpunk that sold 3.8.
Word.
Word.
Wait a minute. So what was the games that was first party?
Marvel Spider-Man 20 mil, Uncharted 4 18, Minecraft published by PS4 edition 17 mil, Last of Us Remastered 11, Last of Us Part 2 10, Horizon Zero 10, Ratchet and Clank 7, Infamous 6, Detroit Become Human 5.5, God of War 3 Remastered 5.5, Little Big Planet 3 5, Uncharted Lost Legacy 5, Drive Club 4.7, Until Dawn 3.9,
I would never believe
FIFA No. Near Automata. No, it's not near. What was the other one? What's my number? I think yeah. Okay, it's 25. Oh,
I mean, we get the
what
picture.
are
Is
they?
that the fact that
Sorry, I didn't have it. I didn't have it in the right order. Sorry. Yeah. No, sorry. Death Stranding 20 at 24 mil. That's where I stopped. It was Death Stranding. Sorry, 4 mil. Death Stranding was at 24 with 4 mil.
that's crazy, bro?
Those, I myself was surprised when I saw that.
Now you couldn't have told me that. I would have
You
sworn
couldn't
it.
throw me that.
Yeah,
20 out of the top 25 are
our
I'm
first
not gonna
party.
are published by Sony.
That's fair. I mean, published is exclusive, right? They
Yeah,
don't
so
have to
that's
make it long as
yes,
it's
it's
exclusive,
exclusive. Yeah,
right?
yep. Also,
So
I messed up the order. Sorry, I messed up the order. So it was I missed a couple. I missed Bloodborne, Days Gone, Uncharted, Nathan Drake, and I think that was it. Yeah, I missed those two.
okay.
Yep.
Nia
So it is the
said
first party.
Nia said sorry, I mean strong third party. So she wasn't really referring to first party, but so Nia, he kind of answered the question. The PlayStation 4 was being dominated by its first party, which is a rarity. We're not used to seeing that.
I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in the chat so that people can people been calling people liars up in here. So let me go ahead and just put the
Nobody called
lies,
you a
lies,
lie.
lies. No, not me. No, not
Oh,
me.
let me see.
Calling
Go ahead and
Sony.
put it up
So
there.
I
Put
just
it.
just put the no. I put it in the chat. That's the link to the top selling best selling games on PS4.
All right. I see
That's
Sam.
the link.
I see Sam face at the bottom, so I guess I got to refresh. Let me see. I'm trying to pull it. It ain't popped in on my end yet.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, look, I like for me personally, I don't I'm not losing no sleep either way it go. I'm happy for Sony. I'm just shocked at this generation, especially when we've been hearing so much about the lack of migration from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5. To hear that they have moved 75 million units is just shocking to me. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It don't feel like the conversation, the talk, like this number just comes out of nowhere. But I'm happy for Sony. It really makes the plight of Microsoft and Phil Spencer that much glaring and noticeable. Man, that's crazy to me. But to continue on with Sony, Yoshida, the former, I guess, CEO of Sony, had an interview. Do we want to watch the interview or do we want to pull out something? There's one thing that was in the interview that I did want to talk about. And K-Bum, I think it was about The Last of Us Online. We don't have to watch the interview, but we could talk about this tidbit, I guess, because I didn't watch the interview enough to really try to pull it up to watch it. But so he made this statement about The Last of Us Online. He said The Last of Us Online was great, but Naughty Dog canceled it after Bungie explained what it would take to make live service games. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really capture or get what he was alluding to. K-Bum had to help my mind wrap around what Yoshida was actually saying. So, K-Bum, I'm gonna give you the floor to help others that may not fully grasp what the nuggets in what he just said in the reality of it. So break that down for folks. Why did they not understand what did they miss that Bungie had to help them understand?
So, I posted this in the comment section for us because I was like, people have to understand. I love Sony, and you guys are understanding this the more and more I talk on the podcast. And I love Sony, but I am not a Sony pony. I am willing to call their crap out when it's crap. And this statement here really bothered me. It really grinded my gears, as they would say. The fact that they could get this far along and then make a decision to cancel the game. So, as you guys know, so if we want to go back, I'm gonna try to go back without going too far back. If you guys remember The Last of Us 2. So actually, Last of Us One had a online version of the game. You remember what was called level? I
Last
don't know
of
if it was
Us.
called The Last of Us, but anyway,
It was
the
Last of Us
original Last of Us.
Online. It was just called Last of Us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Last of Us Online. Sorry. You're right. You're right. All right.
I'm
So
like,
this
wait a
is the
minute.
online portion because they were doing the factions game for the PS2. Sorry, PS2. Sorry for the Last of Us 2. They were doing the factions game, and they end up canceling that online um, live service game as well. And so the thing that really bothered me is that they got this far, and I believe they're talking about the factions game, the game that they were supposed to be coming out in the live service game. Um, and like the guy said, he played it. It was great because it was supposed to launch with The Last of Us 2. But they held it back because they wanted to make sure they finished the first the story mode. So they or the cinematic game. So they got that out, and in the meanwhile, they were still working on this factions, which is the multiplayer shooter for The Last of Us 2 that was going to go along with it. That they had a very similar one for The Last of Us OG. And so it comes to find out that they were making it. It was good. People have been internally had played the game and tried it, and at some point, I believe it was either last year or the beginning of this year, um, that it was they canceled it. And the reason for the cancellation and level was stating that Bungie, who is now under the umbrella of Sony, who made Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, which is one of the not first, but one of the pioneers into live service games. They're definitely one of the pioneers. They weren't the first, but they led the way, led the charge into these live service games. They talked to Dottie Dog and showed them what it would take to make and maintain a live service game. And after hearing that and coming to that understanding, after years of planning and development, they canceled the game because they were looking towards making their next big um, story-driven game. And that game we saw at the premiere. It was premiered at the Video Game Awards. That game, what was that game now? Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, right? That was we saw that at the Game Awards. But if they would have continued down this path of the factions or the Last of Us online game, they would not be able to have the manpower to create their next big story driven game. And because of that, they canceled it. And so what bothered me, and sorry if I spent too much time recapping, what bothered me is that this was and even Yoshida said it himself, that this was a lack of foresight. You spent development hours, you spent money, you spent time, you spent effort, you spent planning, you spent even on a smaller part marketing because you've been talking about the game, showing it to the devs, showing it to the CEOs. All that time you spent for these amount of years just to cancel a game because you did not have the foresight to understand what it would take to maintain and support a live service game. To me, that is terrible leadership. Flat out across the board, terrible leadership. Because it's There's a saying that you have in Christianity now. I'll quickly say that, but there's a saying that says you have to count the cost, which means you have to before
Preach,
you
preacher.
do something,
Go ahead,
before you do
Kayvon.
something,
I need
you have to
Yeah,
count.
wait a minute.
Uh,
Where my amen corner at? Y'all don't let that pass by without saying an amen. Come on now. Come on now.
it says you have to count the cost, which means before you begin on a path, before you begin to go into something, you have to understand how much will it cost you personally, as far as effort, your body, what you got to do in order to do that thing, and you count that cost, and if it's worth it, you do it. And the fact that they didn't have the foresight and understanding, and that this mantra from the higher up was just live service, live service, live service, and they didn't even understand from their perspective what it would take to maintain it, and that it meant that you can't create new games, but you still wanted to do this live service, is in a nutshell the sad, somber story of Sony first parties for the PS5. Terrible leadership, terrible guidance that leads to little to nothing as evidence. And so when I saw that, I'm like, that's it. That's that leadership. That's that. I don't know if it was Jim Bryan or the one before him, maybe Yoshida himself. I don't know who it is, but there's some leadership problems going on in Sony, and this is the main evidence of that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you had to help me because I was just looking at it from man, they made the game, then they had come back and focus on the online portion. I really wasn't even thinking of it from the service that they was trying to go in, because not every game has to be a what they call it, not free to play. You just said
Games as a service.
games as a service.
Game is a service. Yeah.
Like, cause I used to play the original Last of Us online with my boy King Cooper, and I did like it because it was slower paced, third person. It wasn't first person. It was slower paced, four player teams. It was pretty cool, and it had some unique aspects to it that kind of separated it from the pack. I ain't gonna say everybody liked it, but it was really popular at the time. I thought they was trying to do that. I didn't know they was trying to go into the whole service as a game lane. And yeah, that was kind of, and when you kind of made that understanding, then I saw why they couldn't just approach this as an afterthought. This had to be out front pretty much along with the first party. I mean the storyline and everything as well. And it's like, how was they gonna do all that? And it does point to lack of foresight, like Yoshida said. This wasn't very well thought out, and that's clearly apparent, because they could have just did what they're doing here. They didn't have to do a live for service anything. So that constantly trying to make money is what's really killing these think tanks, I guess. But no, that was crazy. I didn't really capture. I didn't get it when you go ahead. My bad.
So I got another point, but I want to let Keith go before I say my next point. So I don't want to jump in front of you, level. I want to let you finish, then let Keith have his point.
No, that's all I had to say. You helped me
okay.
because I was just looking at it from a money. You was looking at it from time, investment. You was looking at it from all aspects. And when you said what you said in the comment section or the chat, I was like, I missed all that. Like, yeah, y'all won't have no resources. Y'all won't have the personnel if y'all trying to do that to even focus on other games. And that was really eye-opening. It's like, why can't y'all just do this? What's going on here? Why not just make this better?
Poor leadership.
Go ahead, Keith.
I mean, I don't really have much to add. I think Kayvon just, feeding us tonight. But but no, I guess I had a question, I guess, of if the game was on the way, like why couldn't they just ship it off to another team, I guess. Like we did it, and then y'all can take the reins, and y'all got the time, and y'all can put forth that effort. But I guess it's also a money thing as well, because I hate to see somebody's hard work just go to waste, especially when people have been, giving feedback on it from the testing it and stuff like that. But it is what it is, man. It is poor leadership.
So let me touch on that, Keith. I'm gonna touch on that by saying, ask you a question, Keith. When did GTA 5 come out?
2013.
2013. When did people stop playing? So, what have people been playing since 2013? Has it been GTA 5 or has it been GTA Online?
GTA
GTA Online.
Online. But they
People have been
also
playing.
released Red Dead Redemption 2 in between that time.
People have been playing GTA Online for over 10 years. They constantly have to create content for those 10 years. It is a beast within itself. And that's the piece that they would understand. Level, you stated how they used to make how the game used to be, right? So multiplayers back in the day, Level, you used to be able to create a game, a multiplayer, and then put it out there into the world, and people would play it.
Right.
That ain't how it works no more.
Well, I mean, it'll make me feel so dated and out of the loop.
No,
But
no,
no,
no, no, no,
I'm
no.
messing. I'm messing, bro. Go ahead and finish your thought.
No. So it wasn't a jab at you.
No,
I
I know it wasn't, man. I'm messing. I told you I'm messing.
It don't work that way no more. Because we used to, so trying to find a game that we used to play. So Halo. Let's take Halo. Halo 1, Halo 2. Halo 1 would come out and we would play Halo 1 until we got tired. It, there were barely new maps. There weren't even new guns that came out. It was we were shooting the same old guns for all those years we played Halo 1. Halo 2 introduced DLC, so we got a couple more maps, right? But support stopped about 2 years. You didn't get any more maps or any more guns, anything like that. That is not how multiplayer shooters work anymore. Multiplayer shooters they have to continuously get new maps, get new guns, get new skins, get um, seasonal skins or seasonal game types, game format changes. Like it is a big deal to be an online shooter because people get bored.
Right.
If you're gonna give me a game, and let's take Splatoon. Splatoon is the closest thing, and it pretty much is a live service game. They give you new guns, they give you new maps, they're constantly fixing the game, they're fixing the guns, they're changing the meta. Like it's a they make it to be a live service game. It has you see the patch list that the patches are consistent. When you look at somebody even bigger like Call of Duty, they're almost doing patches once to two times a week.
Mm.
That
Okay.
is a lot of maintenance, bro. And that's what they were just making the online shooter because they enjoyed the online shooter. What they didn't understand is the online shooter that you made for The Last of Us One is not the same world that is 2025.
Right. But let me ask
That is
this.
not what these gamers are looking for.
You
They need to constantly be entertained with
well,
content, new
let me
guns, new everything.
let me ask you this, and not to stay on this too much longer, but you did bring up Splatoon. Would you say Splatoon is a games for service game or just a game that's heavily supported by Nintendo and its developments, the studio that makes it with new things to keep you coming back? But you wouldn't put it in a games for service lane, would you?
I started not to, but then I looked more and more into it. And it's very close to a games as a service because they do patches very often. They always have new content. They have new guns. It's very close to the same thing they do in other.
Splatfest,
You say what?
the Splatfest.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, I
They
Sorry, go
mean,
ahead.
literally make it to where you can't do the normal matches, and you have to play the Splatfest. those weekends.
Okay, then that makes me ask the question then. How is, and maybe it may be a stupid question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. If Splatoon is in the lane of a games for service, how are they able to do it? And well, I guess that they only focusing on that game as a studio, right?
What else they making?
Right. Okay, that answers my question. Okay,
What,
all right.
what else they making? No, Naughty Dog didn't want to be that. They didn't want to be the game as a service people. And that's what they said. They didn't want to be the game as a service people. They wanted to be able to try new things, expand, and all that other stuff. And so they were like, that's not where we want to be as a development studio.
Got you.
And so
Okay.
they made that change. But my thing is that should have been established way before you got to the point where you're close to putting the game out, and then you make that decision to cut the cord. I'm like, that's so much wasted effort and money and time and everything else that goes with it.
Okay. Keith, you got anything else to add to that?
No, not at all.
Okay, so another thing that was brought up, I don't know if this guy brought it up, but that was what we wanted to talk about from that Yoshida's interview. And y'all go check it out. I think they did an interview. Who did they do that interview through? Hold up. Who was the interview through, K-Bomb, with Yoshida?
I don't have the information.
I'm looking at it. It's Jesse Axe? Jamie Axe? Hold up. I'm looking at it right now. Let me pull it over. So yeah, Jamie Act. That's who. Sacred Symbols is the look up Sacred Symbols. So you can watch that full interview if you want to see it. Also, another thing. Yeah, we gotta talk about this. The PC. Why Sony is going with PC ports. The reason why Sony is porting over first-party titles. I thought that was very interesting too. Cable, do you remember that part of the interview?
Yes.
So let's talk about that. And this right here. And this is the guy that interviewed him. I don't want to. His name is James Jamie's Act. Sacred Symbols. But he asked this question, and I'm going to go back.
In other words, people think that putting a game on PC means no one's going to want a PlayStation anymore. But I'm like, no, I just don't know that these people were that interested to begin with. And if they are, the only way you can really go and get them is to aggressively go and get them.
You here, that when, publishers release games on multi-platforms, especially on PC, the number one market countries, their games sell, is either US or China. China is a huge PC game market. And China is growing, but still very small console market. And in order to reach audience in countries like China, PC is crucial. PC SKU. Yeah, so I believe, having PC SKU really reach new audience. And after, and not, releasing day and day, right? Taking 1 year or 2 years, or sometimes 3 or 4 years after the release of original PlayStation version, I don't think, that hurts. Probably people who have purchased on PlayStation of that game would have purchased already.
So, what he was talking, I guess he was asked about the whole PlayStation first party being ported over to PC. And of course, this was had to be a question from a PlayStation fan who maybe primarily plays on PlayStation, and of course wants that their exclusive to remain on their platform and don't go anywhere else. Well, Yoshida was like, well, when you look at what they're doing, is a strategy to it, and it's not hurting any other people that own PlayStations. He said the reason why they're doing it is because the fact he said when you look at PC, the two biggest markets for PC gamers is the United States and China. And he said China is pretty much all PC. And he said if you want to impact that market, you have to go to the PC to reach that market. So he said that's one of the reasons why they're putting their first party titles on PCs is to reach that Chinese market. And he says, yes, it won't be day and date, kind of going against the Microsoft's strategy. Is Microsoft is day and date. Sony's like, no, it may be a year, maybe 2 years, maybe even 3 years after it comes out on the PlayStation system. But if you want to reach that market, you have to go to where they play. So you're introducing them to your IPs and your first-party titles through the PC. You're winning over Game of War fans, over Horizon fans, over Last of Us fans. By putting those titles on the PC, you're making them that much more as the market of China open up to consoles. You're already doing the legwork to have those individuals already in your world and playing your games. It's smart. That was very dope to me. I didn't even look at it from that lane. I just thought they were trying to make a little bit more bucks. But the thought of China being a primary PC country, we putting our games where they are as the market opens up and as more of the console market comes into that area because of pirate and all that stuff is really hard. Now, when they see a PlayStation, they already have brand. Go back to what you were saying earlier, Keith, brand recognition. They know Kratos. They know what's her name in Last of Us, Ellie. They know Ellie. They know all these different ones, and they already connected to you because they playing your games on PC. That was dope to me. Any thoughts on that?
I want to make a correction. Well, I don't know if it was a correction. I just want to add this information. That's Colin Moriarty. I think I said his name right. That's interviewing
Yoshida.
Yeah, that's his podcast. He's the owner of the Sacred Symbols, and they actually got a Nintendo podcast too called Punching Up. And I think they might have an Xbox podcast. I don't know if it went away or not, but
okay. So this guy is not James. Okay, I didn't know. I thought it was.
No. That's not James. I think James just retweeted it or something.
Okay, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
I think that's very interesting. I know a lot of times when we're thinking about gaming, I personally forget about the Chinese market because they're so different. Like they don't allow the same things to come into their country. I know there was like a huge thing about like when the like switches couldn't come over there or something like that,
because of the
or they just open it. Yeah, or they just open it up.
They're slowly opening it up, but it's still kind of like I don't know if it's not allowed over there. I don't know if it's these companies not allowing their product to go over there, or if China is not allowing the product to be there.
It's the Chinese. It's the Chinese government.
The Chinese.
It's communism. It's Chinese government restricting their people from getting certain things, and that's why certain movies. Let me not get on this high horse. I'll be very quick. Certain movies have to change certain things before they can even be played in the Chinese market. Otherwise, they would be rejected.
Change the name and all that.
Yeah, they changed the name, or as far as black people, they take Marvel's taking black people off some of the covers, posters because of for China. So it's just certain things that the government prefers and allows for their people.
Right. So I never even considered the Chinese market, and we also see a lot of I don't want to call them bootleg games, but like we've seen a lot of I guess you would call them bootleg games. Like popular games that you see in other regions and things like that. I think they had like a fake Splatoon, I think, something like that. I don't know, I can't remember, but we see a lot of stuff like that. So I never even considered that, aspect of it. But to say the PC market, and then when I think back and I'm just scrolling down Twitter, and they had like those big communities of like people coming to like shops playing PC games, I can understand exactly why that's happening. And I see exactly what Yoshida is saying about the PC market. That's some very interesting information I would have never even considered.
Yeah. K-Bomb.
Yeah, I do want one more correction before I get started. Splatoon is not a live service game. My bad. Monthly releases, monthly patches don't make you a live service game. So I take it back. You were right. Level it is more of a a developed studio that updates their game, but it's not live service because they're not doing the weekly patches. So I'll take it back.
Okay.
You're correct.
I'm just
You
curious,
were
you know.
correct.
But
No, you're right. You're
okay.
right. I give you that.
Uh,
Um,
Let me send
to
these
touch
shots out. Shouts out to Chariot Man. Shouts out to Darkwing Dragon. Who else did I miss? I don't want to miss something for you guys. Welcome. I think I got Kawan. Yeah. Go ahead, K-Bomb.
No problem. I appreciate that. What's up, y'all? So it is interesting, and I know we've talked about this, and I've kind of been on the stands of this is kind of Sony's strategy, right, for the PC market. But I was also unaware of the true impact that they were trying to reach as far as the Chinese market, which makes sense. As far as how you can reach an untouched market, and there's a lot of other companies trying to make interest into that Chinese market because there's so many. As we know, China has the biggest population of nationals. So I completely understand, and it makes sense for the direction. And then they're not cannibalizing themselves by making these releases. These games available for PC. It is another way for that they can make money and still be able to produce. But like I said, I was not aware that this was kind of the drive and direction. Some of the main reasons is because they can't really get that brand recognition into the market via consoles because of the restrictions in that market. But PC is a way to do that, and then you create people who are now fans of like you said of God of War or Aloy or anything else that comes with the Sony brand. So I think it's a good strategy for them. I think it works without burning the candle on both ends, as they say. So no, I agree with the strategy, and I think it's a good move for them. I don't agree with them trying to put the PSN on everything for the PC space because it's been biting them in the butt. But it's definitely a good approach for them to move their games to PC first party. Definitely not day and date because you still want to have that preference towards your console.
Okay, and then go picking off of this. PlayStation 6 discussions have been slowly starting to creep into talk. So this is what y'all sharing me. It's from Gaming Bible. PlayStation 6 realistic release window leaves fans seriously torn. It says it definitely feels a bit early to be talking about the PlayStation 6. I agree. This will be part of the conversation for tonight, you guys. However, as the tech industry often moves with speed, it's no wonder that the console is popping up in conversation. Is it? Are we talking about it? I think. Let me stop. Talk of the next step for Sony isn't much of a blessing for fans, though, as this generation is seen as being pretty sparse. We just talked about that. Literally 5 first-party titles in 5 years that we maybe a little bit more than not that, but not that many. With many gamers wanting more for their money. Me, K-Bum, Keith, all you guys on here. Anyway. Perhaps it's a silver lining that Sony's ex-boss, Yoshida, has commented on. I don't know how to say his first name. How do you say his first name? Shuhei?
Shuhei. There it is.
Shuhei. Yoshida has commented on when his realistically expects the PlayStation 6 to emerge. In a discussion with Virtual Beat, Yoshida said that the ideal of the next PlayStation releasing in 2027 seemed a bit too early. talking further, he said, if the next PlayStation comes out in 2028, that feels right to me. Upon hearing this, fans have been split on the idea that we're only a couple of years from the hype train beginning its journey. If you bought a PlayStation 5 Pro, enjoy it for 3 years, commented one gamer on Twitter. Or X. Another PlayStation fan chimed in saying this was a bad take from a former Sony boss. Rare Shuhei Yoshida L shouldn't be earlier than 2029. So he was saying that we shouldn't hear anything about a PlayStation 6 before 2029. Contrasting this, others believe it can't come soon enough. Whoa, okay, that's hard to understand. Expanding the future of Sony's hardware with another console is better not. It better not should be 2027. Said one fan. So personally, I say any time before 2028 feels too soon. The length of time it takes to develop AAA games nowadays is only growing, and console generations need to slow down, if anything. Let me clap on that. That was a good take. I agree with that. One self-proclaimed Sony fanboy had this to say. They don't even have good enough tech for the PlayStation 6, I bet. The release of the PlayStation 5 Pro was lackluster and has me feeling no rush to get to the PlayStation 6. Okay, so the discussion is, should we be talking about the PlayStation 6 at this time? Should they even be considering bringing it or even start talking about it anytime soon? Floors, whoever want to take it.
I'll take, because I know K-Bone has more in-depth take since he is the resident Sony PlayStation gamer. No, I don't think they should be talking about it unless they have something to talk about. Unless they're talking about what type of tech they're going to use, or if they're going to be using NVIDIA moving forward. But I think the real issue is that they haven't, in my opinion, as we've already stated already, they haven't proven the PS5. They haven't shown that they can get a consistent slate of first-party titles out like they have in their previous generations with the PS5. So in my opinion, I feel like they need to maybe not talk about the PS6 and try to finish the PS5 strong like they did with the PS3. I think there was like a bunch of titles that was coming out on the PS3 that made you want to go out and get a PS4. It was like, they had the momentum. And I don't think the PS5 is having that momentum. And I don't think, they have really good brand recognition, but that can be torn apart easily because you know how gamers are, talking about a PS6, and the gap between the PS5 Pro and the 6 probably isn't going to be that large. And then what games are you giving us to say, hey, these are what you need to look forward to moving forward? We're going to be consistently putting out this slate of games, and I just don't think that they've done enough with the PS5 to be talking about the PS6. Of course, we know it's in development. Of course, we know they always are doing that. But I don't think, as a fan or from a fan point of view, that it's right to even be talking about it. Because you just put out the PS5 Pro and sold it for $700. Like, let people enjoy it. Put the games out on it, and you know what I mean? Like, can't be talking about, oh, I know you just spent that $700, but I got this other thing coming out. Like,
let people enjoy it.
Let me enjoy it. I just spent $700, man.
Shouts out to, I think it's Flare Ice. Welcome to the show, bro. Our man.
Oh wow.
He or she, I don't know. I'm not, so don't feel like I'm disrespectful. The name does not give me, I don't want to be saying he and it's a she, and I don't want to say she if it's a he. So he said, they said, I think they need to wait until 2030 to release the PlayStation 6.
I don't know about that.
That's what? That's 5 years from now? You know what? I'm not mad at that. But I'm going to let K-Mom go before I get my take.
No problem. So, I don't think they should be talking too much about the PS5, PS6. I think they need to be hush hush. They need to chill. Let this PS5 Pro linger. Let us find some reason to buy the PS5 Pro because you didn't make it easy for us to want to buy it per price, per content. So wait a little bit, hush your mouth, and give us a reason to even get the Pro before you start talking about the 6. But the timing of everything is close to about right. The PS4 Pro and the PS5 Pro are called mid-gen refreshes, which means they come in the middle of the generation. If we look at timings, the PS4 came out in 2013, the Pro came out in 2016, so about 3 years. And then 4 years after that, PS5 came out. PS5 came out in 2020. PS5 Pro came out in 2024. So that means about 4 years after that, maybe 5, PS5, PS6. So the timing makes sense. It is very similar timing to what they did with the PS4 Pro. I'm expecting the PS5 Pro to be about the same thing. So my understanding is around 2028 or 2029 we will see the PS6 if they stay true to kind of the trend of this being a mid-gen refresh. So in the middle of that of 4 years, the middle of 4 years, you round that up, that'll be 8 years, and that will take us to that 2028 time. I don't think they should be talking about it. I think, well, let me take it back. As far as details, they shouldn't be talking about any details. As far as giving us information on when the next console will come out, I definitely think they should talk about that. Reason being is that they have already talked about the PS5, the PS6. Previously stated the the PS6 will come out. That's hard to say right now. PS6 will come out in 2026. That was kind of their previous assumptions of when that would happen. So I think they need to reassure people that the PS6 is not coming out in 2026, especially after you just dropped a PS5 Pro with no games. That reassurance should be there. And I know this is the ex Sony boss, so he doesn't really have a say so. He's just spitballing probably or giving his best estimate because he knows the company better than we do because he knows the inner working.
That's like
Yeah, but
Reggie. That's like Reggie saying something. We know Reggie still kind of know how they move as a company. So
true. I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. There's definitely information that he has that we absolutely not know that he has, and he has context inside. You'll be a fool not to believe that.
They probably still giving him seeking for advice.
That is true too. Facts. But yeah, I think as far as them, because they said they stated 2026, I believe, previously, and so just giving reassurance to your consumers so they can feel more comfortable buying a Pro, knowing that the next system isn't right on its heels, will be a good assurance. But yeah, 2028 to me sounds more like a reasonable date. 2029 probably will be a little bit better. Could just give that Pro enough time to breathe. But yeah, to me it makes sense. It matches kind of the previous trend, and I kind of think that's the direction they will go in.
Okay, I'm gonna say, okay. So what K-Bum just said, I have to agree with, far as factually or what has been the traditional time frame. Everything K-Bum just said is actually right on the money. It's not outside of the norm. But I think because of how this generation has felt, even though the timing is in line with previous generations, it doesn't feel like we should be hearing about the PlayStation 6 at this time at all. Especially 3 months removed from you releasing your mid-gen refresher. And then to add into what Keith said, and this kind of where I build my argument at, where I'm at with it, is you haven't proven what's current. That's my issue here. Y'all have not proven anything to us. I don't know. Is Spider-Man 2 the best the PlayStation 5 can do? I don't know. I mean, that's.
Well, I will put Ratchet and Clank in front, ahead of all of those.
I was about to go there, but is that the best? Is this the best these systems can do? You have yet to tell me that's the case.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so
that's a launch title.
Right. So I'm just kind of befuddled by the fact that here we are. Again, Sony has been in street clothes all year long. All last year, all this year, they've been in street clothes. Let's be honest. We don't. They been on injury list with the undetermined.
Been on the IR.
Yeah, what they call that when they don't have
injury reserve.
When they don't have a time frame set, is they get a
ETA.
No, there's another term they use. When you suspend it
indefinitely.
Indefinite.
Oh, indefinitely.
Indefinitely or indefinite because they don't know when you're coming back. And that's kind of where we've been at. And what it says to me too, and I throw this out here, it also says that Sony understands that their fan base like buying new plastic. It seems to say that too. That their fan base likes to buy new plastic because the PlayStation 5 has sold 75 million. We all scratching our heads to what are they playing and what are they buying because there's nothing first party. And so it's third party, and it ain't a whole bunch of that. And now you got the PlayStation 5 Pro, $700. No games really showing what that really can do. You showed PlayStation 4 games on that, PSSR and all that. No games that's really taking full advantage of the PlayStation 5 Pro. No first-party game that we haven't seen pushing. And you want to start talking about the 6? And this ain't Yoshida. We heard about the 6 when they was talking about the PlayStation 5 Pro. I think even before it hit the shelves, there was some information about the PlayStation 5 6 is coming sooner than later. And I remember we kind of like, man, we definitely don't need to be hearing about no PlayStation 6. We just now trying to wrap our brains around a PlayStation 5 Pro, $700. So what is a PlayStation 6 going to cost? So I would K-Bum. It just feels like they need to hush right now. They need to chill out. Sony, you need to make some games. I never thought I'd say this about Sony. Y'all need to make some games. Especially after that state of play y'all just showed, which had some games, but I'm pretty sure them games going to be on other platforms. Y'all need to make some games. Y'all screwed up this generation with the I always lose
live service.
Live service games. Y'all screwed us up as gamers and PlayStation 5 owners with these live for service games. Y'all owe us games. Now we don't need no new system with another number behind it or another pro behind it. We need games. We need games that show us why we purchased the system we purchased. This generation, the PlayStation 5 is what, 5 years old now?
Not 4 1/4.
So we about a year away from when we would see a generation end. That's crazy. We are a year and some months removed from the PlayStation 5 being 6+ years old. And K-Bomb we named far as first-party titles 5?
About 5.
And now you get into Ronin.
The 5 I did last. Well, that wasn't all first party. That was just exclusive. So
no, I know.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like what K-Bomb, just think about what you played on the PlayStation 5. Name first party titles you yourself have played on the PlayStation 5.
It's short. Very short list.
I would love to hear it. Just we almost done with this conversation.
It's Spider-Man 2
Spider-Man 2.
and Ratchet and Clank.
Dang, I played more first parties. Now you played
I
Miles Morales.
didn't play. Sorry, Miles Morales. That's PS4
on
too.
PS4. Okay.
I didn't play Astro Bot, so I can't say that. Helldivers is not first party. It's not first party.
Why not?
Because
it's exclusive. It's third party. Or second part. Second part, I don't know what they call it. But no, it's not made by. It's not made by. Does Sony own that studio? I don't think Sony owns that studio.
Okay, well, fair.
Arrowhead or something like that. I don't think they own it. They just made it for the PlayStation, but I don't think they own Arrowhead.
So Helldivers isn't a Sony IP?
No.
Oh, okay.
I
never knew that.
So, okay, Cherry Man Gamer said, I would love to talk about the PlayStation 6. Why? The only thing they are still releasing games for the PlayStation 4. Okay, you got to explain what you talk. I don't know if I'm capturing where you going with that, Cherry Man.
It is published. It's published by Sony, but I don't think Sony owns Arrowhead. I think Arrowhead Game Studios is a third party studio, but I believe it was published. It's published by Sony,
right?
But they don't own.
It's like
they don't own the company.
It's like Bayonetta for Nintendo.
Yeah,
they don't own Bayonetta, but they publish it, so they get exclusivity to it.
Yeah.
Still, like it was so many games we played through the PlayStation 4 era. Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man, Last of Us 2.
Is Days Gone PS4 or PS5?
Uncharted 4.
4.
Horizon Zero
Detroit being
Dawn.
human.
Was the Horizon Forbidden West PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5?
Forbidden West is 5. No, I think it's both.
It's both. So,
it's both.
Like, we had a lot of first-party stuff on the PlayStation 4. We had Ratchet and Clank there. There has been nothing. Too Human. No, not Too Human. What is that game?
Detroit Become Human.
Detroit Become Human. No, brother. As dope as Astrobot is, as dope as Ratchet and Clank was, as dope as Spider-Man 2 was, that is not enough.
Not
at all to be talking about a PlayStation 5 Pro and now a PlayStation 5 6.
I mean, Sony isn't talking about it. Let's make sure we get it right. Sony isn't talking about it. This is someone who asked the CEO of Sony. So Sony isn't talking about it. It's funny because I'm gonna get back to your point. I find it funny because Nintendo doesn't talk enough about their next gen console, and Sony apparently talks too much. We can't find a middle ground because somebody ain't gonna talk, and someone runs their mouth too much. Can we find somebody to do it right?
Like I said, only reason I said Yoshida, and it's not Yoshida's fault, and this definitely has been a discussion. I'm not saying Sony is starting it, but I do remember PlayStation 6 talk and rummaging even around the PlayStation 5 Pro discussion PlayStation 6 was being popped up in those threads, and I'm like, wow, we already at 6. Flare Ice says you can play the beta of the new Fatal Fury fighting game on the PlayStation 4 right now. Okay, all right. Can you play it on the PlayStation 5? Should be able to. I might check that out.
Yeah, you should be able to.
But no, we should not be talking about the PlayStation 6. No, not at all. I don't even think we should be talking about a Pro. But, okay, if the Pro is in bounds, all right. But we need to be talking about them games.
I agree.
If Microsoft got it for not having games, then doggone it, Sony got to get these verbal hits for no games. And
I agree.
the fact that they still selling units, kudos to them. Brand loyalty is real. But, bruh, where are these games? Where is Riverine? Clearly y'all screwed up something because y'all canceling all these doggone play-to-play games.
That boy cannot call them games right.
Games for service. Games for service.
Game the game.
Games for
You know what I'm saying.
Shoot, man,
Game as a game.
I'm not as young as I used to be. Games for service. Games. Yeah. So clearly, somewhere in that situation, some went off. But it's something that hasn't said anything about X-Men. I mean, Wolverine. We got Interstellar. That looks good. I do think Interstellar looks amazing from Naughty Dog. Intergalactic. But we just saw the mess that they just had to be corrected on. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Sony deserves this.
Slap yourself!
They deserve to slap themselves.
I can't agree more.
They deserve
I
to be
cannot
slapped.
agree more.
This is trash. This has been a. I think it's going to go down as one of the greatest yet trashiest generations ever, because we got some dope hardware in this generation. I legitimately believe we got some of the best hardware we have ever gotten. If we do equivalent to other generations and what was there, this might be at the top. I would say it definitely, this and that PlayStation 2, GameCube, Xbox era. This is probably that era, matches that era what we should be seeing with these platforms, and it's just slim pickings except for third party, and you seeing a lot of reused. These games look the same in a lot of cases because it's third party offers. So, yeah, man, no, I don't want to hear nothing about no plastic. I need software talk. Where the games? I might not have no money to spend on your games, but where these games at?
Give me something to look forward to.
Yeah. So, anything else on that? And then we go to this last one, and then we get out of here. Anything else on the whole PlayStation 6?
Nah, I think we crushed that.
Insomniac Games leak hurt Riverine. You think so, Kawan?
It did.
It did? Okay.
It did.
Okay. Set them back.
It did.
That is okay.
I set them back.
So, let's go here. So, another thing took place that I ain't vibing with at all, and I don't feel no Nintendo head should be excited for this. This is kind of goofy to me, but so I'm trying to find the video.
So many of them.
Yeah, I had it up on. So we've been seeing this stuff around the Switch and the possible accessories that may work with it. And we got this right here. This is a concept video right here. Because we heard some about the Switch we didn't talk about this last week, but apparently the Switch is able to be, the Joy-Cons are able to be put on backwards, and the Switch screen will flip to whatever way the Joy-Cons is put on, the screen will reflect that connection. So if you put them on backwards, the screen will flip upside down to match the Joy-Cons, and it will pull the USB-C into a position where the thoughts is you may be able to put on an accessory like a second screen, a camera, as y'all seeing right here. So the question is, and this has been kind of floating out there for a while, that this may be a possible thing. And I'm gonna bring Keith in here on this one. Keith. As a fellow Nintendo fan who is looking forward to the Switch 2.
Very much so.
How are you feeling about what you just saw in this concept video that may be right on the money about something? What's your thoughts? Go ahead.
That camera's stupid.
Do we want... Okay, the camera's stupid.
That's stupid. I don't like that at all. That looks so early 2000s. Like, what are we doing?
That looks so Nintendo.
It's so like...
It's so Nintendo, man.
I'm glad Nintendo ain't saying this, or is it rumored? Before I go, is it rumored that Nintendo's talking about this, or just people?
It's just rumor. It's just rumor. I don't think Nintendo has said anything about this.
So, as a person who thoroughly enjoyed my Wii U, I did enjoy having off-screen not cameras, but maps with games like Wind Waker, of course, Xenoblade Chronicles X is coming out. It was pretty nice to have it on there. Pikmin 3, it was really nice. It was a nice novelty, but I don't need it. I don't need it to return. And I'm not fighting for TV space in my house. So, but anyways, no, I don't like this. I think it's unnecessary. It looks cumbersome. I like the fact that it's showing that, the Switch probably could be turned around and flipped upside down and played any way you want to. I think that's a good feature, and being able to charge it from top and bottom and things like that. But I'm not interested in this at all. I've seen a lot of Nintendo fans retweeting this, posting this, and talking about how cool it is. And all I'm getting from this is the Switch 2, the reveal and everything about it is bland, and people are trying to come up with some unique, quirky little thing to make it feel more Nintendo than what the actual reveal was. And I think people just got to accept that this is just the new Nintendo. They're not doing that stuff no more, and I hope I'm right that they don't that they don't come out with these accessories, because it's another thing that then developers are going to have to try to figure out how to make two screens work and all this other stuff, where a lot of Nintendo fans or a lot of people are like, hey, I just want to play my Nintendo first party games on the go sitting under my TV, and I also want it to be parity with third party developers so they can put their games over there too. If you introduce something like this, not saying Nintendo is, it's just we're just having fun with the conversation, but you have them doing all this extra stuff. They're like, nah, we ain't doing that. We're not bringing our game over.
Well, they already have the mouse feature. That's not something that you're going to be able to, may not be able to comfortably be able to do sitting on your couch, looking at your big screen TV.
You definitely cannot comfortably play around with a mouse unless you're. No, it's just, I don't know. That's weird too. But this right here, this ain't it, Chief. This ain't it. I'm cool on this.
Nia said that would be good for lefties. I don't see what it changes if you put it on backwards. The screen just flips to what you got. K-Bum, your thoughts, man? As a fellow gamer and a lover of the Switch and the DS brand, are you excited for them to bring back that dual screen? If this mock-up concept is true.
I did want before I talk. I did want to have Keith take a look at Comic Books Crunch comment. saying the reason I believe the
Yeah.
DSBS is because there is a Pokemon collection rumor.
Hey, that's gonna trend that DSBS. I ain't lie. That's kind of funny.
I do like that myself. That's pretty good. Good job on that one. Um, so here's the problem with me. I'm a very logical person. And I saw this, and my logic brain said this wouldn't work. The reason why my logic brain said this wouldn't work is that you're going to only be able to play your Switch for about an hour. Because an hour if it's not plugged up, because the screen has to be powered.
Yep.
And you're powering the screen with the Switch.
Unless you hook up, because you got two USB-Cs on it, so you can. But no. Don't let me hurt you.
If you're playing on the go,
stick with it. So
you can't. You're gonna play this for about an hour and you're done.
There you go, 30 minutes because it's
30,
HD screens.
It's not gonna work. It's not. I don't know how successful that's gonna be to be able to play like that, because like the Switch now has to power the screen, right? You're on the go. That's the only other way it's getting power, and that's going to drain the battery faster than anything. And then you're going to drain the power of the system, because now the system is producing double the image. It's producing the image on the screen, and then producing the image on the other screen. So the system itself, the Switch 2 system, is working overtime because it has to produce two images. So I don't, and from a functional perspective, I don't think this is real. Just from a logical, functional, how this would work, I don't think it's real. Because I just think it's too much of an impact on the Switch, which was already getting 3.5 hours of gameplay on the go, right? That's what I'm thinking. It was shooting that, and if you're adding something like this, I just don't. It doesn't make sense. And then if you're playing on your if you're sitting down in front of your TV playing it, how do you get that effect then? Like, I don't think it logically, I can't make it make sense. And so therefore I believe it's not a real thing. Not saying that everything Nintendo does is logical from that perspective. So let me change it. Logical in the way that I think, because it's logical into the way Nintendo thinks. But as far as I think, it doesn't mean it has to make sense. But just for me, from what I'm seeing and what I'm understanding, I don't think it makes sense. I don't think it's logical, and I think it's just a rumor. And I would rather not see this, because I think it's going to have a negative impact, because then you isolate your audience with certain type of games. You have to have this feature, right? I don't think it works.
Yeah, looking at it, one, everything you said, K-Bum, then you add in how you going to protect your screen from the contact of the other screen and the possible problems you create there with scratching and stuff like that. How are you going to wait? This screen going to have to wait some. So how are you securing it to the device? Then you got to look at weight. How much is going to weight to play that way? This ain't a DS, y'all. This ain't cheap plastic and cheap screens.
Yes.
This gonna weight. So you putting a lot of weight on the Joy-Cons that's magnetically connected. You're holding that with another screen on there that's adding more weight than maybe makes sense, because this thing is huge. The only thing out of this that I see maybe a thing is the camera.
I like the camera.
And yeah, I'm going to say I do too. And if they don't have a camera built in, I can definitely see a camera like that being utilized on this device.
That's why I said it was stupid. That's exactly what I was like. No, the reason being because it needs to be built in. There's no reason for that not to be built in.
I agree with you. It should be built in. But if it isn't, that's the only thing I see that may be feasible or possible, or may be a thing in this. I don't see that screen being anything. It don't make any logical sense.
Manny Jazz out here spitting facts, cuz.
The DS is currently #1 in the U.S. lifetime, so don't write off Write it off completely. Well, yeah, the DS was.
Speaking facts, bro.
But Maddie Jazz, listen to your boy.
It's facts.
Listen to me.
It's a fact.
Go
It's a fact, bro.
grab your Switch and grab your gamepad and balance your gamepad on top of your Switch. I'm just playing. I'm joking. So I ain't gonna write it off, but this what we looking right here. I just don't see it. But I'm not gonna play this way. I didn't look. The dual screen never appealed to me at all when it came to the DS. Now, I did love my gamepad, and I did make a video say, keep your hands off my gamepad. Because I didn't want them to take that second screen away, because when you play games like Zombie U or Pikmin, it was dope to have that second screen as you're focusing on the screen to have your inventory down here in your hand. So I'm not going to say...
That wasn't me. That was a cop.
I'm not going to say that wasn't dope. But now that I've had 8 years to be away from my gamepad and that experience, I don't need to go back to it. And only thing I want them to bring back is Miiverse. I don't have to go back to the in my hands. But I mean, I ain't mad at it. But if they can replicate the gamepad way of doing it, where the screen is the second screen of my gamepad, and if I connect to the TV and my Switch 2 can replicate the gamepad experience, okay. But if I got to put a second screen on my Switch 2, no, I'm good. I don't think I want to do that. And but I'm not gonna write it off. It's Nintendo. No, I'm not writing it off. I just don't see it as worth the time, me personally. But you make an interesting point. Comic Book Crunch. They probably will. This will be a Pokemon, and it's a nostalgia that a lot of Nintendo fans love. Is that nostalgia? I just don't think it. The second screen game was cute, but especially in the DS form factor. I don't need it in that form factor. If you could do what the Wii U did, that I may be down for. Because I do like the fact that I can go through my inventory. I think, what are all the games that, was it Wind Waker, Keith? When you play Wind Waker, your menu, all your items is on the gamepad. And the stuff.
Yep.
That's dope. But I don't need that. Not when I'm looking at two screens in my face, in my hand. I don't need you to get, I look down one screen to see my menu. I mean, I guess. I'm going to be honest. That it just shows that I never really got into the DS. I had a 3DS for my son. He didn't get into it either. I ended up trading it in. Yeah,
we missed that. Well, I missed that on the 3DS. That thing is pretty nice.
Yeah, I got him a 3DS.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't need it. I don't need it. So what's the verdict? Comment section before we get out of here. It's about 11, 12 of y'all in here. Or 9 now. I just jumped back over. Give me your verdict. Do we need dual screen for the Switch 2? Leave it alone. Put it like this. Pass, keep, or pass? Go or pass? One of the two. Put go for yes, pass for no. Let me see. I want to see. Give y'all time. What'd you say, Keith? Pass?
It's a pass for me.
Pass? Okay. K-Bum, I know this will go for you, man. This is right up your alley. More screen.
Get on with that DSBS.
Especially if it's an OLED screen. You
Get on with that DSBS.
So it's a pass.
That is a pass among pass. That is Magic Johnson.
Okay, so I see Darkwing Dragon said we don't need it. Shouts out to Darkwing. That's what I'm talking about. Comic Book Crunch, hard pass. Okay. Kawan, hard pass. Who else? Let me see. Who else up in here? Let me know. Let me get about 3 more. Hard pass. Keep. Let me see. Nia, what's up? I think you already said it's a hard pass.
You said you can live without it. So.
Live without. Okay. No. Nia said
no.
Maddie Jazz said yes.
Slap yourself.
Maddie, go with the crowd, man.
Read the room, Maddie.
Bandwagon, Maddie. Join the bandwagon, man.
Read the room.
Flair Ice said pass. Okay. So, as we can see, now, comic book crunch. I can't say that. Dang, we still got a month. Is going to be able to drive your car next, possibly. So, only one that said they wanted is Matt Jazz. Man, I mean, hey, bro, I'm a hold out hope for you that they actually bring. I actually like this DS, the DS and 3DS. I mean, like I said, I enjoyed the 3DS. Like I said, if the gamepad was pretty much the DS experience, then I guess I liked it too. But do I want to return to that? Do I need to? At least at this point, I don't think I do. But Zombie U won't feel, if they bring back something like Zombie U, it won't feel right without being able to look down in your backpack while the stuff.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So that felt good. I'm not gonna front. That did feel good.
I missed that Ubisoft.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm not opposed to that. I don't want no screen on top of my screen. I don't want that. But if you're gonna make the TV and some kind of make it to where I can utilize my Switch 2 as a second screen and put my items on my screen, I'm down for that. Don't give me a second screen for my Switch. I don't need that. But he said, I don't need it, but I would be happy if it did. Okay, shouts out to you. And don't take that slap yourself personal. I slap myself all the time. To slap yourself is actually, it's an honor to hear slap yourself. It's almost like Donkey of the Day. Don't take it personal anyway.
And I do want to say, Mad Jazz, that the DS and the 3DS is goated. We ain't hating on those devices. No. We just don't need it moving forward. We've had our fill.
So, with that being said, and I'm trying to keep up with my Lakers game, they letting this game slip like they let the last one slip. Oh, they up by 2 points. They was up by 15 before half. Or 12 before half. Oh, my Lord. Don't let this game sleep. And Luka not even playing. Luka. Anyway.
It's okay. AD ain't playing either. So
I know. He in street clothes, ain't he? No AD slander. I miss my guy, man. He sent my guy away. Luka look like he just lost. It's just sad. With that being said, anything else, man? I love my 3DS. I loved my 3DS and like the Wii U, but I am okay with moving on. Well, right, Neil. We moved on. We moved on, Neil. You are correct. So, that's it. We are done for tonight. I'm letting these dudes sign out. 75 million. Kudos to Sony. I don't know what they playing, but they playing something. I guess Fortnite, Marvel Rivals. That's definitely what K-Ball playing. What else out there? What's another free-to-play games for service game out there that they playing?
As the kids say, the Fortnite.
Fortnite, I said that one.
Oh, okay.
They still play Minecraft?
They're still playing Minecraft. They're still playing Minecraft.
They better not put Roblox on there. That's gonna take over.
Man,
what's another shooter game? Ain't it another shooter game out there?
Roblox not a shooter game.
Apex
Call of Duty.
Is that going good? Apex?
Apex is not doing so well.
Dang. We didn't talk about Call of Duty like we were supposed to.
We can save it.
Yeah, save it. But anyway, man, shouts out to y'all for tuning in. I'm going to let these dudes sign out. Starting with Mr. Norris. Go ahead, bro.
Yes, sir. Good show. Good PlayStation show. Ended with a little bit of Nintendo, but overall, very good show tonight. We got a chance to talk about some things and reveal some stuff about why PlayStation is putting games on PC, and that's due to the Chinese market. So, all in all, great show tonight. Glad everybody came out and chopped it up with us. Nintendo, what is it? What do you say? DSBS. That's gonna be in my head, man. That's gonna be in my That's gonna be in my head. But man, I hope y'all stay blessed. Y'all have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.
Came on 20.
I am so happy that I was able to stay awake today after all this Nintendo talk for weeks. This was a wonderful day. I got a chance to, as they say, let my hair down. Sorry, the St. Louis accent came out. Let my hair down and enjoy the PlayStation conversation. So that was that was fun today. I definitely do not hold my punches when it comes to Sony. I am not that type of pony. But I had a blast today. Just having a conversation with the homies and talking about these games, because apparently we do more talking about games than playing games. Sony apparently do more canceling games than making games. I guess that's how it's gonna work right now. Hopefully they get their stuff together. But I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed the comment section. You guys came through. I mean, it was a lot of y'all today, so I appreciate every last video, every last like, every last comment, every last repost you guys had. Appreciate it, man. This dude's straight hater, man. Join my PlayStation podcast. Don't do that.
He out of here.
Oh, you done? Okay. Yeah, man. Sony cast today is a little boring. But we made it through, then we key. Yeah, we did.
I will not.
No PlayStation 6, nobody wants it. Anyway, shouts out to Matt Jazz, Video Game Herd, Flare Ice, Kawan G, Comic Book Crush, Darkwing Dragon Chariot Man, who else is there? Alan Steed, and everyone else that tuned in that made it drop anything in the comment section. We appreciate you guys. We love y'all keeping us company. And did I say Nia? I think I did say Nia. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Mavs beating LA tomorrow. Hush it up, sir. That is not happening. I don't think they're playing tomorrow. I think they're playing next week. And they're going to lose. They don't have AD. They don't have the SWAT master himself. There will be no defense played on that team. I guess you are in Dallas, I take it. Comic Book Crush. Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, all in your internet drum, all in your internet streets. Stay safe, highly blessed and favored. Go to church or do something of wholesome nature. And we'll be back. Till then, deuces. Peace. I was like, bro, they played back-to-back tonight. They said back-to-back. Second of a back-to-back. But we see y'all. Deuces.
We got smashed, bro.